Hi parents, this is Sally from Occupational Therapy. I wanted to go over the Handwriting Without Tears or the Learning Without Tears online resource. They had made it recently available for free for 90 days so that parents can use that at home. The Learning Without Tears is a handwriting program that is designed to help kids establish those printing skills. So if your kid is pre-K, they work on the foundational skills that they need to later on develop their writing skills. And then if they're kindergarten and up, then they're working on how to properly form letters, and so on. So I wanted to take you to the screen. This is what you will see when you press on the link that I have shared with you in the document, which you will see under documents or slides and handouts. So if you go, let me take you to the website here. So if you go to, so we are at OT&L slides and handouts. And if you go there, I have a link here for you to follow or click on. When you click on that link, this is the page that will come up. So if your child is in pre-K, then you want to create an account with the pre-K interactive teaching tool. If your child is kindergarten and higher, then this is where you would be creating the account under Handwriting Interactive and Teaching Tool. So let's say we go under the, so I have an account. So when I press create an account, it doesn't really, it won't really take you to the screen for creating an account, but for you, it will. Then you want to go to the getting started link. Again, so if you're pre-K, you want to go to the pre-K one, the handwriting for the older kids. So let's say I click here. So the screen is divided up in three big sections. So get started with keyboarding without tears. This is not the one that we are interested in. If you scroll down, you will see get started with handwriting without tears. So that is for your kindergarten child and older. If you scroll down more, you'll see the get started with get set for school, and this is for your pre-K child. Now, you've already done step one. At this point, you've done the registration and creating the account. Then I want to introduce you to their online orientation resources to their interactive tools. So there are two ways you could review their interactive tool. You can go to videos, or you can go to documents if you want quick access that is not very draining to your internet data. So I'll show you for the kindergarten and older. If you click on videos, you'll see a list of videos here. You want to follow or view the videos that are tagged for parents. So this one here, the Using Handwriting Interactive Teaching Tool at Home for Families, it goes over how to, it's pretty much a workbook that is online. You can, when you click on that video, it will give you what that would look like in practice for you. Then there's the other one here. There's using a print workbook at home. So if your teacher already had sent a handwriting without tears, so some classes did use the book. So if you already have it, great. You can follow the links to the red colored book. So there's the yellow and the orange here. The document section pretty much goes over the same thing. So you'll see, for example, the document here, and it goes over how to navigate and use the tool. So let me get out of there. You will find exactly the same thing available for the younger kids. So if you go in under their videos tab, again, they have for parents. You want to look at their interactive tool, which is probably what you're going to be using the most. And then you could, it will just go over again how to use it at home. You will see the document, the mirror document of the video, also available for you to view and download as a PDF if need be. So once you are done your orientation step, which I highly recommend, you are now kind of ready to start using the tool. So over here, this is what you are going to see. Now, depending on your child's age, you would pick the book. So for a child who is transitioning to kindergarten, or a child who is in kindergarten transitioning to grade 1 but has been identified to have fine motor delays, then I would recommend starting with the purple book. And you could follow sort of the table of contents you click. I would recommend going through it in order. If your child is in kindergarten and they're transitioning to grade 1 and has been identified that they have average fine motor skills, then you could use that orange book. And you could see there's that arrow to kind of help you navigate the different resources they have available for each of these books. Okay, now for the pre-K, they have pretty much a similar idea. You will have access to the My First School book, which you can kind of navigate here. At the bottom of the screen, you will see arrows. You can go through the different pages. Again, I would recommend doing that in the order they have, because the way they do it is what we would see developmentally happening for the kids. So they start with the things they know are easier and progressively get harder and harder, as opposed to doing it in alphabetical order per se. So these are the two main and big online tools that you will have access to. The tracing, you could do it online if you have a handheld device. I think they also say you could use it. You could use a mouse to trace. Now, this does not replace a pencil and paper practice because it has a different feel. It's obviously the pencil allows you to practice your grasp. If you're doing finger tracing or you're doing mouse tracing, obviously it's not exactly the same. They will get the idea about how to form the letter, but the pencil grasp is not there. So highly recommend that you practice some of that in the traditional writing format. Now that we have viewed sort of the available tools, I want to go over the document that I've created. So that document kind of goes over the steps that I talked to you about in the video. So you could navigate the document here online, and I also added some suggestions that you could help enrich the fine motor activity of letter tracing, or if you're doing the lesson there. So when you are using the interactive tool, they also have put icons that will take you to songs or educational videos, which you could also use to enrich that experience. Now, depending on your child attention span, you may be able to do all of these in one session, but you may end up having to divide it up into multiple mini sessions where you expose your child to one activity at a time. You don't want to be doing this when they're losing their attention or they're getting frustrated, or they just have their mind set on doing something else. To enhance their learning, you want to catch them in a good time and a time when they're ready to receive learning and instruction. So you divide it up. I would recommend doing one or two letters each week, um, to give them that idea of that chance of practicing and repetition, because that's what helps them sort of get that skill concrete. Um, I've also mentioned that you could practice, it doesn't have to be on a table with pencil and paper. You could make it fun by having a large piece of paper, have rolls of paper. You can tape a big piece on the wall. You could copy the letter. Let's say they're working on the letter L. You can do the letter L, and then they can copy the letter L beside yours. You could do it while they're lying down on their tummy on the floor. You could have a Play-Doh activity where they form the letter using Play-Doh, or wetting their finger. And if you have those mini blackboards, um, or if you have a whiteboard, you can use that too. So any sort of different media you could use to help reinforce or expose the child to how to properly form the letter as shown in their lesson. That would be a fun and a good way to get that down. Um, you could also supplement that activity if you want to really enrich it. You could, while you're working on a letter, let's say, as I said, you're working on the letter L, what you could do is pick items, whether they're toys or household items, or even images that you can get online that have pictures of things that start with the letter L, and have your child practice their words, right? So, what do you call this? What do you call that? So, labeling. And also, you could practice very simple phonics. What sound does the L make? What sound does the C make? And then, and that way you could have actually, you can kind of use that fine motor activity as your core, but you can add little things to enrich it and work on different areas of their development in the same time. Um, so I kind of have a look, play around with it. If you have any questions about which book to start with for your particular child, please feel free to email me and I can help you or guide you through that process. I can do my best helping you navigate the online resource if you're having difficulty sort of following or understanding what to do. I can try and do my best to support you there, but they also have technical support. So if you're having issues related to more like the technology, they also offer that kind of support on their website. So I hope you find this helpful, and I hope you have fun with it. Thanks.